Welcome to Friday Takeaway. I'm Charlotte Chong, joined by Nadia Hassan. Nadia, this week, except that Donald Trump is taking over the Oval Office today, top news of the week, BNM keeps interest rates at 3% at its first meeting, and they say they see stronger economy in 2017.
Okay, here's the thing, right? We talked about this last week as well, how everybody seems to be reading different books on different days. And I have this weird feeling that because it's still just January, a lot of people don't really want to commit to what the year is going to be until more stuff comes out. Because like you said, Orange Head's inauguration is later today, and Theresa May has just come up with her first sort of talk about Brexit, and it looks like it's going to be a hard Brexit. That means complete breakaway. You know, we'll still have like trade things, but there's no half in, half out. So a lot of that I think will play in as the months kind of go by. So maybe that's why everybody is just sort of like on the fence at the moment. Yeah.
Yes, I think investors are still waiting, like what you say, but we see positive fund flow coming into the Southeast Asian market. Like what MIDS say this morning, we see steady fund flow coming in again. And when we look at inflation, average at 2.1% in 2016 in Malaysia, and it's expected to trade higher in 2017 due to higher global oil price. We probably see oil prices steadying a little bit more in the near future.
Well, hopefully, and well, we will talk about something which is a sign of that later. But the fact is, other things that came in today was that government actually says they might introduce temporary passes to undocumented workers to make them legal. Unfortunately, that's only for people who are already in employment, right?
So actually, Nadia, it's a good news for rubber glove industry, manufacturing industry, those labor-intensive industry.
Yeah, the ones where the levy was already sort of like delayed anyway. Corporate news, PNB to buy Silk Highway for 380 million cash. This is really funny considering that I think they've been trying to sell it and a lot of people turned it down, WCT and all this.
Three of them
so finally
altogether.
they finally found a home, right? But here was what interested me this week. Purdue came out, talked about their year ahead, and automotive industry is going to be a tough one this year because MAA came out yesterday and said that, look, 2016 met our target by 124 units. That's all.
So very little. But I think Purdue Besa was doing very, very well last year.
But not enough.
Yeah, not as many. So imagine if Purdue is doing okay this year, what about Proton?
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's already, I think MAA revised their target. That means consumer spending is going to be tough. But again, it's only still January. Maybe miracles will happen,
yeah,
who knows?
So TIA Research maintains an underway call on the industry, increasing TIA this year to 586.5k units. They anticipate consumers that have delayed their purchase in 2016 to finally buy the big ticket items.
Yeah. So moving on to sort of like what was sad this week was the fact that the last search vessel left MH370 search area. It ended the search of coming up to the 3-year anniversary of the disappearance of the plane. China, Australia, Malaysia, the tripartite communique finally said, you know, we have to suspend the search, which actually was made with, you know, a lot of sadness. And a lot of people seem to think that it was the wrong thing to do. I think it's a heartbreaking decision. Richard Quest on CNN came out with an opinion piece saying that he thinks they shouldn't. It was a wrong thing to do. But they have said that if there's new evidence, they'll reopen it up again. If you're going to Singapore over the holidays, enjoy it because it's just apparently before they impose a 640 road charge.
20 ringgit about.
20 ringgit thereabouts on February 15th. And the reason they do it is because Malaysia was being mean and imposed 20 on them.
But having said that, Transport Minister Liao Tong said it might be scrapped. This is actually on top of vehicle entry permit, electronic road pricing and toll charges. So please expect to pay more if you're going to Singapore.
Well, Liao Tong Lai says it may be scrapped
so we wouldn't know.
If they prove that Malaysia wasn't just being mean to Singapore, and Singapore might actually consider it. Who knows?
Now, glance at crude oil. Oil actually bounced from 1 week low after international energy agencies say global oil markets were tightening and saw higher demand. Now, we are still waiting for OPEC members to cut oil output. Brent crude oil was traded at $54.16 this morning.
As we move to KLCI, of course, and the fact is KLCI is down 0.06%, 1 week to go before Chinese New Year and everybody goes off. 1,666.45 points. Week on week, flat, 0.36%. It's hard to say.
MITF actually rolled out a report this morning. It says that the rebound in global economic condition caused by a revival of China's economy and also better commodity prices has actually improved global trade activity as well as the Malaysian trade activity.
Yeah, do you believe that?
A little bit, yes. Actually, we can see that crude oil prices has probably, trend upwards slightly this year.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see how that goes.
Yep.
Ringgit strengthened, I say strengthened,
Little
0.0%
A little
to
bit, yes.
4.4475. The first stop of that we're talking about is apparently banking on better oil.
Yeah.
Yesterday, UMW Oil and Gas, together with like Equinor, actually they're buying into Icon Offshore, and they're buying into another company as well called Orkim. So what they're doing is, this is the first big major oil and gas consolidation that Petronas has been talking about, saying that there's too many players, we just need to consolidate it down, and now is a good time to do it. And the reason why they did it was because they think oil is going to come up and they're going to be in a great position to ride that.
1 month ago, UMW Oil and Gas was traded at 78 cents. 10 a.m. today, it's traded at 74 cents, dropped about 16.38%.
Okay, and UMW Holdings, because actually it went up 8.87% rather than, so I think people are buying into the parent rather than the, what I call it, ONG gas, because I think a lot of stuff is you need to digest. All the analyst reports are already out today, right? UMW ONG has already been loss-making, and Icon Offshore also has been having a bit of a tough time. So the best part is that this is going to make a massive multi-platform company that's going to be a giant. And this, because they're doing it now, I think people will be analysing it for months to come.
Now, MIDF Research, they upgraded the parent company from neutral to trading buy with unchanged TP of 5.15. They say post-consolidation, the enlarged UMW Oil and Gas with Icon Offshore will undertake rights issue to raise 1.8 billion ringgit to repay debt. Basically, they think that it's a good move for them to merge together because UMW Oil and Gas, it's actually a drag for the parent company.
They're already going to demerge it already. I think that's what they said yesterday, right?
Yeah.
As well. So because of that, now it's sort of like a clear-cut entity. So all of this comes under UMW ONG's umbrella. So it's a rebirth. It's essentially a rebirth for them.
Right. Let's move along to the next one, Genting Berhad. Now, Genting Berhad's unit, Genting Overseas Holdings Limited, they are pricing a $1 billion offering of guaranteed unsecured fixed rate note.
I think it was oversubscribed, if I have to double check.
2.8 times.
Yeah, 2.8 times oversubscribed, right? So Genting is because we did this report a couple of days ago. Apparently, their big project, have you seen it? It's red. It's red and it's very
red color.
Have you seen the development? It's really red.
Is it the one in Las Vegas?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay.
It's a very big one in Las Vegas. That is apparently starting to kick off. It's being built on the bones of an old project called the Echelon, yeah. It's being built on an old project, and apparently the cranes have started to move in to try and test it. So because of that, I'm no surprise that they're actually doing this in US dollar bills, and they fixed it at a certain rate. So that means the Vegas project is, they did mention that maybe that's what it's going to fund, but most likely it is. Why else would you take a US dollar bond?
It's definitely well received among the investors. Now, Yobi KK actually came out with a report yesterday. It's very interesting. They say that Resorts World's Las Vegas, this casino, is not the first Chinese team casino in the United States. The other one, they have just recently opened up this first Chinese team casino. It's called Lucky Dragon, but they say it's still very early to say how the response from the gamblers are. So looking ahead, we are curious of who is going to perform in the inauguration today.
3 doors down, apparently. Yes. They're playing Kryptonite.
Now, actually, Charlotte Church and Elton John, they have refused to perform at the new president's
Really?
We are not surprised.
We are not surprised. The gay man refused to basically perform at the at the inauguration of a man whose head of secretary hates homosexuals. I'm surprised. I'm so surprised. But it will take place at noon in the States.
Yeah, correct. So it's about 12.
I'm trying to avoid the news things because it's just going to be pompous and idiotic. I just wish he'd get some of his policies in so we know what's going on in that.
Yeah, so investors won't wait for so long before they see any changes in the market.
Yes.
Right, that's all we have today. For more information, please log on to www.theedgemarkets.com or please pick up a copy of The Edge Financial Daily or weekly. Have a nice weekend.